Today we're going to be filming the challenge turkey. It's a little bit difficult and you're going to learn some new folds, but it's fun if you can stick with it, okay? So we're going to start with our brown piece of paper or any color piece of paper you would like. We're going to hold it like a diamond. We're going to bring this corner over to this one and we're going to hold it with our finger and rub back and forth like that. Okay, then we're going to open it up and we're going to have it look somewhat like a kite. Okay, so we're going to fold this into the middle, making sure it has a nice point down here at the bottom. And then we're going to fold this side into the middle, making sure it has a nice point down at the bottom. And it should look somewhat like a kite. Okay, so our next steps are we're going to open this like this, and we're going to bring this point into the middle so that it's nice and straight here across the top like this, and rub back and forth. Then close those flaps back up again like this. Okay, we're going to make it look like a kite again by bringing this corner into that middle like this. Okay, then we're going to bring this side in to meet it, and again it kind of looks like a kite a little bit. All right. For this next step, it's a little bit tricky, but not too bad. We're going to lift one of the sides like this and pull that center piece that's up inside. We're going to gently bring it down and over like this, okay? And then we're going to flatten it back down, okay? We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Lift this up, pull this corner out, flatten this side down, back down again, pull it out and over. This side gets flattened back down. You are going to have to help it a little bit so that the point comes all the way out and flattens down nicely like the other side did. So it's going to look like this, okay? All right, so for our next steps, this is making the turkey's feet. So you're going to pull it out and over. And rub back and forth, crease it with your thumb so it's a nice fold, and do the same thing on the other side, out and over, okay? We're going to try and compare and make sure it's somewhat symmetrical. Crease it with your thumb, go back and forth, okay? Then these little triangles up here at the top are going to get just folded back just like this, about that much, okay? Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to fold just that front little triangle over like that and rub back and forth. Okay, the next step is going to be kind of easy. You're going to bring one side on top of the other like this. Line up those 2 feet kind of like this over here, and then gently rub back and forth. Okay. This is going to feel a little awkward because we're going to be opening and closing a bit. We're going to be making the head and the tail. All right, so we're going to stand it up to look a little bit like this and flatten it down. This is going to get folded back like this. All right, this is a lift fold that we're setting up, okay? This is going to become the head eventually, and you're going to turn it around and fold the tail in to meet that head that we folded. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can see that mine's not. Okay, so the head and the tail now are kind of meeting each other. Then you're going to pick it up like this, and you're going to fold it in half again. Line up those 2 feet like this. Okay? All right. This part is called a lift fold because you're actually going to lift. Please don't do it roughly. You're going to want to do it nice and gently. We're going to lift the head and neck first. That means I'm going to lift it straight up like this, okay, and rub it. All right, that doesn't look like a turkey yet, does it? All right, we're going to rub back and forth, okay? Then, to make it look like the turkey's head and neck, we are going to fold it. I see how I'm opening it just a little bit at the front, and I'm going to fold this piece down a little bit like that, okay? But it still doesn't look exactly like a turkey's head and neck, so we're going to rub back and forth just to make sure our folds stay nice. And we're going to push this triangle down like this to make that turkey's waddle in the front, beak and waddle, okay? And just flatten it down a little bit. Again, does not need to be perfect. So you've made the head, the neck, the beak, and the waddle, okay? So we have one last thing, and that's the turkey's tail. All right, we're gonna do a lift fold on the turkey's tail back here. We're gonna lift it straight up like that, and we're gonna rub back and forth. Okay, getting it to stand at first might be a little bit tricky, but it shouldn't be too bad, okay? You're just gonna wanna mess around with how much you want that tail folded or not. And then you can add the details with markers to get your turkey to stand up and look like a real turkey. And